The envelope sat on the kitchen counter, pristine and heavy with possibility. My name, Alexandra Carter, was printed neatly in the upper left corner, Stanford's emblem embossed in the corner. My hands trembled as I picked it up, my breath shallow. This was it. 4 years of perfect grades, 2 years of debate team, 3 years of volunteering at the hospital, and every AP class my high school offered. All those nights I stayed up until 2 a.m., rewriting essays until my vision blurred, while Lily was out partying with her friends. None of that mattered now, because I had done it. I tore open the envelope, my pulse roaring in my ears. Congratulations! The word leaped off the page, bold and undeniable. A laugh burst out of me, half disbelief, half triumph. I got in. I didn't even realize I was running until I was halfway down the stairs, my socked feet nearly slipping on the hardwood. Mom! Dad! My voice cracked with excitement as I skidded into the living room, waving the letter like it was a winning lottery ticket. I got into Stanford! My mother didn't look up from her Better Homes and Gardens magazine. She turned a page slowly, her manicured nails tapping the paper. My father remained sunk into his recliner, eyes glued to the golf tournament on TV. Silence. The grin on my face faltered. Did you hear me? I said, quieter this time. My father finally glanced at me, his expression unreadable. And how much is that going to cost us? The words hit like a punch to the gut. My throat tightened. I got a partial scholarship. It covers half. I'll take out loans for the rest. I need help with housing and... Loans? My father scoffed, muting the TV. You think we're made of money? My mother sighed, finally setting her magazine down. Alex, be realistic. You know we're already stretched thin with Lily's tuition. I stared at them, my fingers tightening around the acceptance letter. But you paid for her school, all of it. Lily had barely scraped by with a 2.8 GPA, yet they'd handed over $50,000 a year without hesitation for her elite experience at some private liberal arts college. Meanwhile, I'd gotten into one of the best universities in the country, and they couldn't even muster a congratulations. My mother's lips thinned. Lily's different. She needs the support. You've always been independent. You'll figure it out. Figure it out! The phrase echoed in my skull, sharp and dismissive. I looked at my father, silently pleading, but he just turned the TV volume back up, his message clear. This conversation is over. The letter crumpled in my grip, the edges digging into my palm. Later, that night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, the acceptance letter now a wrinkled mess on my desk. Down the hall, I could hear Lily laughing on the phone with one of her friends, the sound carefree and bright. A hot tear slipped down my cheek. Then another. I thought about all the times I'd stayed late after school for tutoring, the weekends I'd spent studying instead of hanging out with friends, the way my teachers had looked at me with pride when I aced my exams, how my guidance counselor had called Stanford a reach school, but encouraged me to shoot for it anyway. And now? Now it didn't matter. Because my parents had made it painfully clear, Lily was the priority. Always had been. Always would be. I rolled onto my side, pressing my face into my pillow to muffle the sobs. That night I cried until my ribs ached. And that night, something inside me hardened.
The morning after my parents crushed my Stanford dreams, sunlight streamed through my bedroom window, mocking me with its cheerfulness. My eyes were swollen from crying, my throat raw. The acceptance letter still lay on my desk, its crisp edges now soft from how many times I'd crumpled and smoothed it out. I traced the university's crest with my finger, my chest tight. Congratulations. That word felt like a cruel joke now. By 6 a.m. the next morning, I was already dressed in my diner uniform. Stiff polyester shirt, black slacks, non-slip shoes that would leave blisters by noon. The smell of grease and coffee clung to me before I even walked in the door. "Order up, new girl," the cook barked as I tied my apron. I spent that summer in a haze of exhaustion. Mornings, flipping pancakes at Rosie's diner, smiling through rude customers who snapped their fingers at me like I was a dog. Afternoons, filing paperwork at Thompson and Lowe Law Office, where the partners barely acknowledged my existence. Evenings, stocking shelves at Food Mart, my back screaming as I hauled boxes in the freezer section. My hands cracked from dishwashing liquid. My feet swelled until I had to soak them in Epsom salts every night. And every time I came home, there was Lily, lounging on the couch in her $200 jeans, complaining to Mom about how boring summer was before her fall semester at Crestmore College. "Ugh, I have to get new bedding for my dorm," she whined one night as I counted my meager tips at the kitchen table. "The standard issue is so scratchy." My father walked in, grabbed a beer, and eyed my cash pile. "Still moping about Stanford?" I didn't look up. "No, I'm figuring it out," he snorted. "Community college, then?" The condescension in his voice made my pencil snap in half. "Yeah, and then I'll transfer. Good luck with that." He took a swig and left, the fridge door swinging shut behind him like a punctuation mark.
Lily lasted exactly 1 semester at Crestmore before she flunked out. I came home from my law office job to find her sobbing on the couch, mascara streaked down her face while Mom stroked her hair. "It's okay, sweetheart," Mom murmured. "College isn't for everyone." I froze in the doorway, my community college acceptance letter crumpling in my grip. Not for everyone? They'd told me to figure it out when I got into Stanford. But Lily? Lily got coddled for failing Introduction to Art Appreciation. Dad patted her shoulder. "You just needed a different environment." I couldn't take it. She partied every weekend and skipped classes. That's not environment. That's laziness. The room went silent. Then Lily wailed louder. Mom shot me a glare. "Don't be cruel, Alex. She's sensitive." I walked out before I said something I'd regret. I worked. I studied. I clawed my way up. Community college became a state university where I graduated summa cum laude with a finance degree. The day I walked across that stage, I scanned the crowd desperately, but my parents' seats were empty. When I called, Mom answered on the first ring. "Oh, honey, we wanted to come, but Lily has a spa day scheduled, and you know how she gets when her routine is disrupted." I hung up. That night, I sat alone in my tiny apartment, my diploma propped against the wall, and let myself cry. Not for them, but for the girl who'd once believed they'd ever be proud of her. Years passed. I climbed the corporate ladder, started my own consulting firm, and, through sheer spite and sleep deprivation, became a millionaire by 30. My parents never called, never visited, until Lily got engaged. The voicemail from my father was so unnaturally cheerful, I thought it was a wrong number at first. "Alex, we need to talk. Dinner, this Friday? That new place downtown? You'll love it." I deleted it. Then, against my better judgment, I Googled Lily. There it was, her Instagram, flooded with ring selfies. # to be #, fairytale love # plaza hotel wedding. I knew exactly what this dinner was about. They chose La Mer, a restaurant where the appetizers cost more than my first car. Lily sat across from me, her diamond ring glinting under the chandelier like a taunt. She hadn't changed, still pouty, still acting like the world owed her everything. "So," Dad began, clearing his throat, "Lily's wedding plans are coming together." Mom smiled sweetly. "She's always dreamed of a winter wedding at the plaza. You know how she is. She wants it perfect." I sipped my $80 glass of wine, waiting. Dad leaned in. "The thing is, it's expensive." "How expensive?" I asked flatly. Mom hesitated. "Well, around $250,000. I nearly spat out my wine. "Excuse me?" Lily sniffed. "It's not that much for you, is it? You're rich now." The audacity, the nerve. I set my glass down carefully. "Let me get this straight. You refuse to help me with tuition, but you want me to pay for her wedding?" Dad's face darkened. "After everything we've done for you." "Done for me?" I laughed, sharp and humorless. "You didn't even come to my graduation." Lily burst into tears. "It's just one day. Why are you so selfish?" I stood, tossing my napkin onto the table. "No, not a dime. The backlash was instant. Aunts, uncles, even cousins I hadn't seen since I was 5 called to shame me. "How could you abandon family? Lily deserves this." Social media was worse. Lily posted tearful videos. "My sister won't help me have my dream wedding after everything she's put me through." I didn't respond. Then, karma struck. Dad's business, the one he'd always prioritized over me, collapsed. Turns out he'd taken out massive loans to fund Lily's shopping sprees, her luxury apartment, her life. They called again, this time begging. "Just loan us the money," Mom sobbed. I smiled. Funny, that's what I asked for once too. I hung up. I donated $250K to a scholarship fund for first-generation college students. That was my revenge. Helping someone like me, someone who actually deserved it. As for my family, they sold their house, Lily's wedding, a courthouse ceremony. And me? I'm finally free.